What?
And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner!
Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. Literally, I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team. Do I look like I'm freaking kidding?
Those things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
Wake up! Are you ready? We're back. Welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. Did you have a good Christmas period? Did you have a good New Year's? I hope you did. Listen, if you didn't get a chance, visit our YouTube channel. We put a Christmas special up that you have to see to believe. We did a little bit of a recap of the year. We did a challenge, and you'll never guess who won. It wasn't the guy who signed professional papers. It wasn't the guy who coaches and plays at a top level. It wasn't the guy who played D1 and for Detroit City. It was our scout, Brooks. Brooks, you won. Congratulations, my friend.
Yay.
You get a big round of applause for that. But go ahead and check out our Christmas special. It's about 19, 20 minutes long. My wife said it was really good, so it must be good because she is, that's how the things go with wives, right? All right, guys. Want to start off. Happy New Year, everybody. 2024, huge year. First episode of the year from the weekly recap here at We Are Soccer. We got a lot going on. Before we jump in, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, our partners. Big thank you to Soccer World. A big thank you to Next Level Training. And a big thank you to the Michigan Jags. We appreciate all the love and support from our friends and our partners. We got a lot to get to. The FA Cup's been rolling. We missed a whole bunch of EPL games. We'll look at the table there. The Bundesliga has started back up. Real Madrid are back atop La Liga. We've got U.S. men's national team coming together. But there's a little bit of a caveat to the roster there. Kevin De Bruyne makes his return from injury. Napoli have dropped to 7th in Serie A. And we're going to talk rumors. We're going to talk transfers. We're going to talk people who are hoping to move, clubs who are hoping to get people, and much, much more. But it's not just me here. We have some of the boys. We are unfortunately missing Danny tonight. Danny, I hope you're well. Just so everybody's aware, Danny went through shoulder surgery. He's in a little bit of pain. It's unfortunate he can't make it into the show tonight. But we do have Nate. Nate, how are you? Drinking from your, I believe, cup?
No, it's actually Danny's cup
Oh.
with my soda water in it because I'm a germaphobe and it doesn't look like it's been washed. So look, it's like this, see?
Oh. I believe.
Look, the monkey uses a stick to get the ants out of the hole.
I like it. Hey, buddy.
I just had a question.
Yeah.
You were like, hey, wake up. Who exactly was sleeping in this room? Just out of care. Like, who are you waking up right now?
I'm waking all the fans up because we're back. And
Were they sleeping
like
or the
3
fans
weeks.
sleeping?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't see through the video camera. You never know.
Oh, wow.
They could have been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah. Eee.
Creepy.
Yeah, it's definitely creepy. That's a great superpower right there.
No, I got 6 vertebrae.
Oh, yeah. You're weird, by the way.
Yeah.
Mutant.
Yeah.
So you found that out
Yeah.
over Christmas break.
I've been having some back problems because I went up funky on a 375 squat. 375.
I don't know what that is.
That's 375 pounds on the back of my back. And
Interesting.
I kind of tweaked it a little bit as I went up, and then I, did like 4 more reps and then set it down because that's what you do. And then, it's been bothering for a few weeks, so I actually broke down and went to the chiropractor just to get it checked, and she informed me I had 6 vertebrae, which is 1 more than the average human being.
Interesting. Okay. Well, congratulations on that.
I also think she could be wrong because I've had x-rays before and
no one's ever said
that.
anything.
Yeah. So, but she counted them.
All right. Well,
I counted 6.
so besides the extra vertebrae, how was Christmas? How was New Year's? How was the break?
It was good.
Yeah.
Played soccer this Thursday, and it was great to see you there.
Nope, didn't show up.
Yeah,
Nope.
wow.
I had other things
What
to do.
a team player.
You
Hey,
know
we're
it.
getting ready for Florida. We're doing a tune-up match to train. Where's Craig? Not here. Yeah.
I had somewhere else to be to get more work in on the field.
More work in.
More
Because
work.
That you're playing 7-a-side in Florida, right?
Yep.
No, you're not.
No.
Okay.
I don't care. I'm the guy, send it long. Yes, there's a lot to be talked about there.
Every great coach is like, yeah, I want my best player not to be with us in training because we want to be ready for the game by having him doing other shit.
Yeah, getting the work in, putting shots, taking people on. Anyway, yes, I know. Trust me, you're not the only one to give me shit. Yeah.
I would have triggered plane ticket up.
Yeah, well.
And then
they
I would have
didn't.
sewed it back together because I guess you score all the goals for your team.
I score some goals, and they like that. Brooks, how are you, buddy? How are things? How was the break?
Oh, good.
Yeah?
It was good.
Do I need to do the megaphone to you? Wake
the
up?
megaphone.
No?
Do it.
Do the megaphone?
Yeah.
Wake up.
No, it was good. Yeah, I mean, the combine, the Midwest Pro Combine went extremely well. So 100 and some players, brought in like 15 to 20 more players than we usually do, 6 teams. Probably about 8 to 10 pro teams, and we sent that match combine film out to probably like 27 more pro clubs, and then 10 to 12 amateur clubs that are prepping for the U.S. Open Cup. That'll need kind of 2 separate rosters for their USL2 season and then their U.S. Open Cup season. So
Very nice.
that was good, and honestly, just after all the soccer from the fall and doing the combine and everything, it was just time to relax and do nothing.
Time to do nothing. That
Yes.
doesn't sound fun.
It was wonderful. Got to sleep in a little bit. Got to just, not think about stuff and just nice and easy. It was good.
I did something very, very similar, and it was pretty good. Like, I was talking to this guy from, who I know, I shouldn't say know him, but talking from this guy in Cincinnati that I talked to from FC Cincinnati supporter group, and he's like, yeah, how's your holiday been? I'm like, I haven't been coaching. I haven't been really doing anything. It's been quite nice. It's like
Drive around for once,
Yeah.
Don't have to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did a little bit of nothing as well. I'll be very, very honest, boys. My break was going absolutely phenomenal. And then Boxing Day hit. And at around 5 o'clock, I decided, and I'm done. That just ruined everything. At 5 o'clock Eastern time, by the way. Turned my phone off, turned everything off, and for the next week, just went radio silent. Now, what happened? What happened at that point, you may ask? Well, Aston Villa were up 2-0 at halftime at Old Trafford. Then they, for lack of a better term, shit the bed. Alarm bells were going off, and right around the first goal hit in the back of the net, I said, this isn't going to end well. And sure enough, it didn't. Losing 3-2 ruined my Christmas break. I needed to take some time away. So I did. I did nothing.
We thought you were dead.
Yeah, no, I was pretty much dead inside for a
Yeah.
couple of days there, my
We
friend.
were worried. Danny was extremely worried.
you won the next 2 games. I mean, Jesus.
We did.
And what did United do?
Well, United as well. Yeah. And you know what? We'll jump into this in a little bit, but I was having a conversation with a Man United fan today, and I said, if it wasn't for that Villa game, that might have been sayonara for Erik ten Hag. I mean, that was they took 4 points in January from the league, I think it was, and 3 of them were on that Villa game where they made a comeback. Why can't they play like that second half? Why can't Man United do that every game? I don't understand.
Because their players are gutless.
Yeah, but they showed up in that half. Thanks, guys. My Villa gets not screwed. We played like shit as well, but it is what it is. Yeah. So anyway, we'll jump into that. We'll get to the EPL in a little bit. It is FA Cup weekend. That's what's been going on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then tomorrow. Man United, the team we were just talking about, play tomorrow. Wigan Athletic, I believe that is at Old Trafford. We will get to that in a little bit, but let's jump in and talk about the FA Cup. The FA Cup typically hasn't really gotten a lot of I would say, fanfare in the last several years, in my opinion. I think people kind of just take it off and don't understand. I had someone the other day say, hey, Villa won. That means they moved 3 points up the table. I said, no, man. It's an FA Cup match. It's completely different. And they really didn't know how important the FA Cup was. I think the FA Cup in England is very big. I think outside of England now it is nowhere near as important. People aren't really too concerned about it.
I don't know why, though.
Yeah, I'd like your thoughts on that, Nate.
I think it's important.
Yeah?
Maybe I'm just the weirdo who's like on the outside, but I think that and the Pokal is very important. And it's nice to the DFB Pokal. It's a similar format.
Absolutely.
It's nice to see some of these upsets that happen. Some of these teams that are in there moving on, and I think it's important for everyone. I think it's a great all around. Any of these. Hey, any team can jump in within our country tournaments, I think are absolutely cool. I mean, you look at, again, take the German Pokal, and out of the remaining 8 teams, I want to say 6 of them are non-Division 1 teams.
That's incredible, and that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's about these lower-level teams getting a shot, just like here in the U.S. Open, where the lower-level teams can beat the high... Oh, no, that changed. Oh, right, MLS, go F yourself because of that.
Well, I thought they wavered back on that now or something. But
There's a fight. Someone's suing someone.
So it's because I'm confused on how, if not to get off track, but if I'm, FC Colorado or whatever, and MLS is like, hey... or the USF is like, hey, you got to play, They can't force me to play my players that I want to play. So they can't force me to play my starters if I want to play second-tier guys. Who's
right?
How can you stop that? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So it's I don't understand what's going on there. But
I think there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to come for it. Yeah, but you're right. It sucks all around. It does. It really does. I mean, to be honest, with it being the FA Cup weekend, Villa played yesterday. I got up and I was excited for the game. I saw the roster, 80% the starters. Then we got 2 or 3 sprinkled in there that wouldn't normally start, but will get a couple of minutes. And I said, yeah, I want to win. I really want us to win a trophy, so I want us to win. But if we lose, we'll just do what we normally do. We'll go focus on the league. So it doesn't hold as much weight, really. But it's all right. It is what it is. Why don't we start talking about some of the results? The first game, January 4th, that was a Thursday. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. Boring. Piss poor boring. The only real controversy, the only real highlight of this game was a red card to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which... by all accounts, is a red card, but oh my, is it light, and oh my, was it really not needed. Besides that, this game was poor, and now both these teams going to have play in a replay coming up in about a week's time. Moved on to Friday, January 5th. Brentford won, Wolverhampton Wanderers won. All EPL matchup there. Again, a draw. They're both going to have to move on and replay the game again, this time being at Wolves. The only real, again, highlight from this match was Wolves picked up a 9th-minute red card and had to play the entirety of the game, pretty much the entirety of the game, down a man, equaling the score of 1-1 in the 64th minute and then holding on to the end. Besides that, not the greatest teams. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to play probably 75% of their starters, sprinkle in a couple of other players here and there, some minute getters, and then you'll be fine. Then we move on. Fulham played Rotherham United. Now you'd say, all right, Fulham, you've been flying high the last several weeks. You've put 5 goals in the back of the net twice. This should be a good one for you. They scored in the 24th minute. Bobby Decordova-Reid, the Jamaican, popping up with the goal there. And that was it. It was 1-0 Fulham. So kind of a boring match.
Jamaican me crazy, huh?
Jamaican you crazy, yeah? Yeah, trust me. Yeah, it was one of those games. So far, we're 4 games into the 4th round of the FA Cup, and poor, and more poor. Moving on to another all-EPL matchup. We had Tottenham Hotspur hosting Burnley. Nope. Again, pretty poor. Pedro Porro popping up in the 78th minute to put the first goal in the back of the net. It ended 1-0 to Tottenham. The good thing there, Burnley now, obviously rooted to the relegation zone, now will be able to focus on the rest of their EPL schedule and see if they can pick up some points to move on out of that. Don't think they will. Definitely think they are going to be relegated, although, they put up a nice fight in this match. We all know Tottenham kind of been to the wars and struggling with players. They, by the way, picked up today, I believe it's official, a new player. We will talk about that very soon. I'm sure Nate will have a huge piece to talk about there on the new player brought into Tottenham. Oh, and by the way, Eric Dier heading out of Tottenham to... I literally had to rewind the TV, and I'm sorry, I was like, what? Where? Who's looking at Eric Dier and bringing him in? Couldn't believe it. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes as well.
MLS?
No.
Oh.
No. This one will also be of big news to Nate.
Oh, I know Jordan Henderson wants to come back to the EPL.
We're talking about that too.
Yeah.
Jordan Henderson wants to come back. I don't think that'll happen.
Those sellouts that left for the Saudi
exactly.
League.
Moving on in the FA Cup, we had Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. And I tell you what, Aston Villa did everything in this game except for put the ball in the back of the net consistently. The amount of shots they blew over the net or put right at the keeper was absolutely phenomenal. Their keeper, Middlesbrough's keeper, was the standout player of the game. A deflected shot by Matty Cash ends up in the back of the net, and Villa win 1-0. Job done. We're moving on. Good God, I want 2 hours of my life back. What the F? No, boys, it was...
Well, and I hate to say it, like the early rounds of these things are a bit meh. You know, it's not till this is the third round, right? It's not till like
you're right.
To me, the fifth to sixth round.
Yeah.
You know, when you get down because then you get those interesting matchups. Then that's where you sometimes have those giant slayer moments that happen. It's not you do have a bunch of like slog 1-0 or English toffee versus fish and chips FC.
Yeah.
You know, like
English Toffee United.
But when
right.
English Toffee United plays Manchester United in the sixth round and beats them like 1-0 at Old Trafford, then it's exciting. And that will happen. That's literally I am a broken man.
We will get
broken man. We're gonna lose against Wigan. You know that?
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
You know what?
The hell not?
You know what? Hold
I'm
on.
A broken man.
You know what? Hold on. Let's get through the scores, and then we'll get to that last game of the FA Cup that happens tomorrow. Villa creep through 1-0. Avoid a replay there. AFC Wimbledon 1, Ipswich Town 3, Coventry City 6,
Ooh.
Oxford United 2.
Did Haji Wright score in that?
He did. He had 2. Did he? No, he didn't. It was the game prior.
Oh.
It was the game prior we were texting about, if you remember. I think he had the first 2 goals, and you're like, he's crap. I go, by the way, he scored 2 goals today.
I believe Nate concurred with he's crap, too.
Yeah, I think we're all on the Haji Wright is crap, right?
Yeah, he's crap.
He's crap.
Yep.
He's crap. But he scored some goals for Coventry City, so good for him. And for Coventry City, I guess. Maidstone United 1, Stevenage 0. Now, from my understanding, this is the big upset of the round.
Yeah.
Stevenage is 63 positions ahead of Maidstone United. So this could be the fairy tale story. 1-0 to Maidstone. It was a penalty kick in the 47th minute. Excuse me.
How happy were you that Stevenage lost since they knocked out your Villa last year?
Go F yourselves, Brooks. No, trust me. Yeah, go
Good
F
old
yourself.
Stevenage.
Good old
Stevenage.
Powerhouse Stevenage.
Yeah.
No, listen.
All the Steves in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's funny. Villa, actually, this is the first time in 8 years, 7 years prior, we hadn't made it out of this round.
That's crazy.
No, that's how bad Villa have been. That's how bad they've been, man. This is a bit of an anomaly year for us. Millwall 2, Leicester City 3, an all-championship matchup there. Sunderland 0, Newcastle United 3. Tyneside derby there. Sunderland, Newcastle, big rivals. I think we were all expecting a lot more from this match. Newcastle United walk it easily.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot more than 3-0, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, at least Sunderland, they're kind of getting back there, right? Like they're in the championship. They're in the top 6 right now. It's nice to see with a club with that history to be competing again. So they're probably still a ways off, but it's not easy to play a Newcastle side that's got a lot of strength to them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Newcastle have been struggling recently, but this is the pick-me-up they probably need as the season comes
Eddie
along.
Howe for sure. If Eddie Howe lost this one, it might have been one more game and he's gone. He's on the hot seat, I feel like.
That's the rumor. I personally don't see it, but that is the rumor. Brooks, you're correct. I think it's just that they started out so hot and so well, and they've kind of cooled off, and they're thinking what's going to be going on here. Newcastle have some injury concerns themselves. Jordan Pope. Eddie Pope. No. No, Eddie Pope. First name is at the moment, but Pope, the goalie, shoulder injury, surgery, out for a while. They could be in the market for a keeper there. Rumors are Ramsdale could be moving there. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I don't see Arsenal letting that happen. Why would they let their number 2 goalkeeper go to another team who is in the Champions League hunt? So we'll see what happens there. They have a couple of other injury concerns as well over there. Other games in the FA Cup: Blackburn Rovers 5, Cambridge United 2, Gillingham 4, Sheffield United. Gillingham 0, Sheffield United 4. Finally, a good win for Sheffield United. I tell you what, though, Sheffield United came to Villa Park and played very well. Went down a man and then ended up going up a goal on us. We had to score in the last couple of minutes to put that one through. Yeah, don't count Sheffield United out quite yet. They're putting something together there. Hull City 1, Birmingham City 1, Newport County 1, Eastleigh 1, Norwich City 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Plymouth Argyle 3, Sutton United 1, Queen's Park Rangers 2, AFC Bournemouth 3, Southampton 4, Walsall 0. Should have bet on that one. I knew that was coming. Stoke City 2, Brighton Hove Albion 4. Brooks, Stoke made it difficult.
Yes.
It was up in Stoke,
Yes.
In Stoke-on-Trent.
Wasn't a rainy day though.
No, it wasn't a rainy Tuesday, was it?
It was not.
It'd be a
But it's
decent
tough, though.
Saturday.
Yeah, but it was tough. Like, I think it's always a trap game, no matter when you go away to a lower division club, just because it's not the style of soccer you're used to playing all the time. It can be very direct. It's very physical, probably. It's not as technical, but there's something to be said for teams like the lower division teams that can put up a fight like that. And they gave them a run for their money. It was 1-0 Stoke early, and the beautiful goal before the end of the first half. And then it was, I think, Brighton went up 2-1 and then 2-2, and then finally Brighton pulled away. So, it was those aren't easy games. And Stoke is a very, as you know, is a very tough club.
It's a tough place to go, and they're
very gritty.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's a much-needed win for Brighton.
Yeah.
Struggling through December, falling a little bit down the table is a much-needed win to hopefully get them some confidence back.
Yeah. They've only
in the
lost
next round, and then some points into the league once they can get there.
Yeah, I mean, the last 6 games I saw, I think they only lost 1 of the last 6. So that's not terrible. It could
Not
be worse.
terrible. Could be worse. It's just not how they started out, right?
And actually, I saw a graphic too. By the time it was Christmas from this year to last year, they were actually had more points this year than they did last year. I think it was like 6 more points they had this year. But I think just the players that the other clubs have acquired and whatnot, it's just, as we know, it's so close at the top.
Yeah. That's what it is. The clubs around them, right? At that
like
level.
Villa and all those other clubs.
Villa, Newcastle, and so on. So good win for Brighton Hove Albion there. Watford 2, Chesterfield 1, Chelsea 4, Preston North End 0. It looked like Thiago Silva got a goal, Raheem Sterling got a goal, Broha got a goal, Enzo Fernandez got a goal, Christopher Nkunku out injured. I don't know if that's a real injury or they're just like, hey, we're playing Preston North End, just chill. But rumor is he was injured and wasn't even on the bench for that one.
Yeah, and you got to save him for Preston East End.
Preston East End. Oh, my word.
Yeah.
That is not a real team, folks. Brooks made that up.
Yeah.
Unless you know something that I don't.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not?
Huh? Who?
Preston, is it West End or is there a North End?
There's just Preston North End.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
South End?
No.
Oh, man.
Sheffield Wednesday 4, Cardiff City 0, Swansea City 2, Morecambe And that was our Sunday FA Cup. Then we moved on. That was our Saturday FA Cup. Moving up to Sunday, a couple of games here just to go through. Shrewsbury Town 0, Wrexham 1. That's actually those two cities are very close to each other. About a half hour or so, I think it is, or something like that.
It's right across the border.
Yeah, right across the Wales England border there. So, little rivalry. So nice little win for Wrexham.
Apparently, because one of the players, the one who scored the goal on Wrexham's team, was being interviewed, and he said, "Yeah, this is for the another player on the Shrewsbury team. Apparently, called him a bunch of amateurs last year."
Ooh.
He goes, "Well, this is for that we're a bunch of amateurs" comment. So
I like it.
Was it a PK or was it? Someone said it was either a nice goal or was it off a PK?
No, not a PK, sir. No, it's a nice goal. Yeah, actually, pretty good goal. All right, moving on. We got a couple of games that would really dive in here. Luton Town 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. So they got to go to replay there. That one was actually at Kenilworth Road at Luton. So now Luton have to travel up to Bolton to finish off that. Rick Leon, I have a little bit of a bone to pick for you. You told me to take Huddersfield Town over Man City, and I did, and now you owe me $1. Man City 5, Huddersfield Town 0. Nottingham Forest 2, Blackpool 2. Blackpool were actually up in this game 2-0. Nottingham Forest fought back at home to tie it up 2-2. Now need to go to a replay to see if they can advance. Peterborough United 0, Leeds 3. West Bromwich Albion 4, Aldershot Town 1. And the really nice piece in here about this game, Brooks, do you want to say that?
Which one?
Daryl DK back on the field.
Back in? After his ACL injury.
And he scored.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Good to see him back on the field, back putting the ball in the net. You could tell from the pictures after he scored the relief on his face and the excitement.
He was excited.
Yeah.
Maybe,
wouldn't you be right? I mean, one, you scored a goal, and two, you just come back from a very long injury.
Well, maybe he can work his way back in to the national team.
I mean,
there's a lot of strikers now, but really no one has really, taken the one spot, honestly. Maybe Pepe?
Agreed. The only bad thing is that he was never really in Berhalter's plans before, even when he was healthy and putting the ball in the back of the net.
But he got to play a little bit, though. He got called in and he played.
A couple of times. It wasn't for the big matches, though, right?
Maybe Gold Cup and maybe some friendlies, but
It was the Gold Cup when it was on the backs of them in
Yeah.
the Nations League, and they called in a bunch of
I think so.
guys.
Yeah, it was the
Even
second
then-
tiered,
even then,
yeah.
he-
He struggled to break in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the U.S. national team, your number one and number two striker is going to be fought over Bellingham and Pepe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But you do need an alternate, someone big,
Yeah.
someone to go in there and disrupt things. as
Josh
well.
Sargent's done really well for Norwich.
For Norwich. We've
Sorry,
gone over
Norwich.
this. It's
Yes.
Norwich.
Problem is
Norwich.
he's no different than the first two
Yeah.
guys I just named. Like
I know.
I want a 6'4", 6'5" guy who's
Yeah.
gonna win stuff in
You're
the
right.
box if I'm gonna bring a third striker.
For sure.
Which could be DK, could be Hoppe, could be
Vasquez.
No, he's
He's disappeared to Liga Ameki now,
dead to me.
so
He's gone now.
we'll never see him again.
Yeah.
What if he leads Liga Ameki in goals?
Still don't think he'll ever make it back to the U.S. men's national team on a regular basis.
You know what I think they're gonna do? They're gonna if he does well for a year, the Mexican club's gonna sell him over to Europe. Watch him do that.
Well,
mean,
it could be
that's-
like the Robinson deal where it's only a 1 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll jump into
Segway.
Yeah, well, hold on. We're going to jump into that shortly. I know you want to skip the next couple of games here, Nate, but
There's no point in talking about the last one, Craig.
it hasn't been played yet. You never know who's going to win, Nate.
I do.
All right. Well, before we get to that, West Ham United 1, Bristol City 1. Kind of a surprise there. West Ham not being able to get the ball over the line more than once. Jared Bowen scoring in the 4th minute. And that was all she said for them. Now they need to go to Bristol City to try to advance into the next round. The big game of the weekend, the big game of the FA Cup, was the last game played today, Sunday. Arsenal at home to Liverpool. I tell you what, this game, in my opinion, was... I was blown away. In the first 15 minutes, Arsenal, I thought, were going to run rampant. They dominated possession. They dominated passes. They dominated every single phase of the game. They put shots on. They put everything they could at the net. They hit the crossbar. They were sliced and they were diced, and they could not find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. And you're just thinking, it's going to come. It's going to come. Liverpool are without Mo Salah. They're without Virgil van Dijk, who was out through illness. Mo Salah went to AFCON, by the way, and that is the African Cup of Nations. For those of you who don't know, it happens every year right around this time, and all the African players who play for the African teams disappear to go play in that tournament held in Africa. Mo Salah plays for Egypt. He gone for pretty much the month of January.
Onana stuck around.
So who did?
Onana stuck around, I think, to the 14th or
He
something.
is sticking around until after, I believe he flies out after the Wigan game.
Yeah.
He did request he plays for Tunisia, I believe. Someone needs to look that up. I believe it's Tunisia. He asked the coach if he could stick around and play in the FA Cup game, and the coach agreed, so he's going to fly out after the game. I actually heard from a couple of Man United fans who are like, oh, please, no. Go ahead.
Cameroon.
Oh, dang.
Onana gets a lot of flack, but he's tied for first in clean sheets.
For sure.
Premier League.
Yeah.
And it's not like he has a stellar back line, does he?
This is true.
So just going to point that out. And by
Yes.
the way, he's top 3 in save percentages.
Yeah.
So say what
done
you
well.
want.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? We're not
You
gonna.
can't deny the facts.
We're not
You
gonna go down that
This-
road
but
right
this
now.
isn't at you. This is at any United.
This is
fan
anybody.
going,
This is-
Onana
I think-
sting.
He's not done bad.
Top 3.
Yeah.
He's top 3 in save percentages in the Premier League, and he's tied for first with clean sheets. And he's playing with Johnny Evans.
We'll get to United. We'll get to United. Let's hold tight. I want to finish off the Arsenal Liverpool game. Hold tight. I know.
They're still going to lose.
Yeah, you United fans are really hurt.
But leave
right now.
Onana alone. He's
leave
not
him
the
alone.
problem.
I want to get to the game today. So Aaron Ramsdale featured for Arsenal, and he actually played very well at the beginning, but towards the end kind of gave up a little bit. Arsenal. We're gonna play a game later today, boys and girls. Called Hot and Cold. I'm gonna put some players. I'm gonna put some teams to the guys here in the studio, and I'm gonna say, is they hot or is they cold? And I hope everybody plays along. But today, Arsenal started out on fire, and oh my word. I'm not kidding when I say this. I went into the betting app that I go into often, and I was like, this is it. We're 10 minutes in. 15 minutes in, whatever it was, Arsenal's going to put the ball in the back of the net. They're going to win 2-0. Like I said, Mo Salah out at AFCON. Virgil van Dijk out through illness. Endu Wataru out. He's going to play in the Asian Nations Cup.
Oh, wow.
I was like, this is their chance. No, Liverpool win 2-0. Liverpool did what they needed to do, sticking around, playing solid defense, breaking out, playing counterattack football. They got the job done, man.
Can I admit to something?
Yeah, go for it. Who are you rooting for?
I watched that game.
Hey.
What'd you think?
It was entertaining, wasn't
I
it?
watched it because I wanted to see Liverpool play.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we've been talking so highly about them and their style of play.
So we got the flag in the
And-
corner
and,
for him.
and after saying that, I feel like I need to go wash myself with bleach. But they're playing well. I mean, I was entertained. I watched that game. I also watched, the Liverpool versus Newcastle game.
All right.
They were, I think they're playing at a very entertaining form of football right about now. Right before the first goal went in from that free kick, I just was thinking in my head, man, that's going to be a goal. And it was a solid shot.
Oh, that was a nice goal.
It was a solid shot.
You know what they always say on set pieces like that or anything like that, put the ball into the danger area, whip it in with some pace, and who knows what'll happen.
That's what he did.
And sure enough, came off the defender's head and went into the back of the net. So, Nate, were you not, even without Salah, even without Virgil van Dijk, even without Wataru, I thought McAllister played well. I thought Harvey Elliott played well. We'll call it I don't want to say a second team, right? But because it was mostly
Pasted together midfield.
Pasted together midfield. That's a great way of putting it, actually.
Because you're out with a bunch of key people that you were hoping would still be around, and it is what it is.
They still got the job done against
played
a team at the top of the table, right?
When you have Schloberschei, you're okay.
Soberschlei,
Schloberschei.
one of the best players right now in the division
From Germany.
Yes,
Well, he's from
he's
Hungary.
Hungary, but via
Yes.
via
Via
Germany.
Germany.
Play in the
Via
Bundesliga.
Via Germany.
Sorry,
Same with Endo.
from the Bundesliga.
Yes.
Same with Endo.
Yes,
Same with
yes.
Conte. Same with half the team. But Sabasai didn't start this game,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and actually didn't play at all.
No.
And so
When he's around you, though, there's the presence of just greatness, right?
no, he's good. Jota's good. Gravenbach is good. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you got a bunch of solid, really, good players there that just work hard and get the job done and create very exciting attacking moments, unlike some other people's teams that they like to watch.
Yeah, well, Klopp's teams have always done that. Dortmund, he was really exciting, with the players he had. So
Yeah.
Yep.
But sometimes sometimes exciting football from one area doesn't transfer to another area.
This is true. We do have one game left.
No, we don't.
In this round of the FA Cup to talk about, and we will talk about it in 30 seconds.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just gonna do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump. Next to line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a
Oh.
mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
All right, welcome back. Thank you to Soccer World, our partner there. Visit them at soccerworld.net for all your soccer gear needs. Yep, one game left in this round of the FA Cup, and it is Manchester United visiting Wigan, powerhouse Wigan. Nate,
Can't
listen.
wait to lose that match.
Listen, the Villa game, I thought United were actually the better team in the first half, just a little unlucky off 2 set pieces. Villa played well, but didn't dominate like they usually do. Then Villa got really tired, and Man United just stepped into another gear and obviously put 3 balls in the back of the net to win. And then they kind of shit the bed for the next 2 games, sorry. You think that's going to continue tomorrow?
Yeah.
What do you think the team's going to be? I mean, this is a chance for them to really win 3-4-5-0 and put some confidence, breathe some confidence.
It's going to be a 1-0 game.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
loss, though?
Probably. This is the chance for them to breathe confidence, which they will not do.
We know Onana's going to play because he's asked to stay home and play, right? He didn't want to go to AFCON yet, so he's going to stay home and play.
Yeah. And then after that, everyone else is injured. We're going to, paste together a dream team of academy know-nothings that will work harder than the first team players that we spent $80 million gajillion on.
A lot of
That's
money
what we
on some of
do.
those players.
Yeah, yeah.
Spent a lot of money.
We got a half working Harry Kane knee that is probably taped together by hope and prayer because he didn't want to go to West Ham, and he's probably regretting that move right about now.
Yeah.
He's probably like, God, why the hell did I go to West Ham? I should have ate that $15 million. Just ate it. It would have been higher up the table.
I mean, if you get Garnacho playing the way he can play, if you get Højlund playing, getting on the end of some balls.
Is he? Højlund might not even be able to play. He was illness.
Apparently some illness is going around again.
He might not be on the field. I don't even know yet. He's going to be returning any day,
And you may want to just bench Rashford again because, good Lord.
Put a trash can out there and hopefully hit a ball off the can and have it go in. That would be better than Anthony Martial, who might not even be on the team next week. Thank God. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know.
I think I heard that he could be sticking around. In
Why?
The
No.
summer. Why?
Just
God, why?
Why do you want that? Like, what are you doing? Like, surely you can get a toaster. Like, a toaster or a piece of equipment that would be better than that guy in your locker room. Because at least a toaster will make you toast.
I want to let everybody know that Nate is actually a Man United fan.
Yeah.
He's a fan of the club.
You know, we got Minu. He'll be out there. He's 18.
Yeah.
He's exciting. He tries. He cares.
He tries.
Because he's trying to get a contract.
Johnny Evans, he's trying.
Johnny Evans is like reliving his glory days right now and probably walks in that locker room going, you guys are a bunch of clowns.
Yeah.
You guys are, he's like, I used to play with Rooney and Ronaldo and like real players. Like I rode the bench for some of the best center backs in the world and now I'm starting over you guys.
Yep.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm 36. I came here to retire and hang out and hopefully coach the youth academy team on the side.
They
And now I'm starting.
They actually signed him to a one-day contract, and he was supposed to retire the next day. And they said, "Oh, wait, hold on. We're gonna need you to stick around now."
I got Anthony doing spin circles over in the corner.
Oh my God! When you sent us that video,
The video of him doing the spin
Yes.
in practice, and
That's correct,
everybody's
yeah.
like, "Oh God, really? Again with the spins?"
You remember? But then what's infuriating is then you see like clips when he was actually on the Brazilian team or other places,
Yeah.
and he was good. Like I don't know what happened. Like he just like was like, meh, I'm done. I'm good.
There was an article about United that came out in, I want to say, December 20th-ish. And the main chunk of the article was Man United, Eric Ten Hag rated Antony to the tune of £25 million. So that was going to be their opening offer to Ajax. And yeah, the price got driven up to 90, and that's what they end up paying.
Nice. What's great though is we're gonna make a ton of that money back when Jadon Sancho goes Dortmund. That's gonna be awesome.
That's coming up next.
I'm perplexed on what's gonna happen there. He's not a starter for that team. Like I don't know if he's gonna see any playing time. Like I could literally list half a dozen players that are playing better than, but he wants that move.
Yep.
Which I don't know. I'm confused with it. Maybe he missed like the sausages.
He
and
misses the
pretzels.
sausages and beer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, they don't play on Fridays. Him
and Gio Reyna are gonna complain together.
Yeah, they'll do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, I don't like Gio has nothing to complain about because
I know.
not even him is like, there's players better than him on there. Like,
Well,
Mullen, Adiemi, Giddings, Mukuku, all four, those guys are all better.
I got to reel him back in here.
All better than Jadon Sancho.
We're gonna finish up
Wanna
the
know why
FA
they're
Cup.
better than Jadon Sancho? Because they try.
Because they put an effort in.
Because they.
We're gonna reel Nate back in. We're gonna finish up the FA Cup. Man United visiting Wigan. Nate, you're predicting a 1-0.
It's going to be the best/worst 1-0 snore fest you've ever seen.
But a win for United?
No.
Oh.
No, United will probably
Like
win that
10,
game.
10 men need to go to.
The United
Yeah.
should win that game. If you don't
Absolutely
win that
should.
game, I'm going to I'm going to do nothing because you lost against Nottingham Forest.
If he puts out a full team, like a full first team squad, and they lose to Wigan, I think he should just grab a taxi to the airport and Eric Ten Hag head back to Holland.
Well, what's the threat? Like, Craig, I'm going to fire you, and now you have to go to a real organization with real owners and a football manager and players who aren't, snotty and actually work hard. Like,
I don't think Ajax want him back.
Ajax aren't doing too well without him.
Yeah, they suck right now, by the way.
Do you think that's like a threat? Like,
No. No, you're right.
If I was him, I'd be walking every day going, fire me.
Yeah.
Come on. Just do it.
Give me the
Just
money to
go
walk
ahead.
away.
I think like some of the academy players he did bring in was just like, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
Just watch this. Oh, actually, that guy did well somehow. Oops.
Oops.
I was trying to lose this game.
Well, we'll see how that ends up. So listen, here's the teams into the next round. It's going to be Luton Town or Bolton Wanderers, Wrexham, Liverpool, Brighton and Hove Albion, Norwich City or Bristol Rovers, West Ham or Bristol City, Tottenham, Fulham, West Bromwich Albion, Southampton, Ipswich, Leeds, Leicester, Watford, Newcastle, Sheffield Wednesday, Crystal Palace or Everton, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest or Blackpool, Wigan Athletic Athletic,
Wigan.
or
No, Wigan Athletic.
Wigan. Let's just go with Wigan. Okay, I'll agree with you there. Manchester City, Blackburn Rovers, Sheffield United, Swansea City, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Coventry City, Brentford, or Wolverhampton Wanderers. Plymouth Argyle, Maidstone United. We're all rooting for Maidstone United.
We are.
Newport County or Eastleigh, Hull City or Birmingham City. Let's just go Hull City.
Let me just sum something else.
Go for it, buddy.
United. Your leading goal scorer is defensive midfielder who can't defend.
McTominay?
He can't defend. He is crap at his position and somehow accidentally scores going forward. If you're Rashford or Højlund or anyone, you should be embarrassed. Just embarrassed. If you're Anthony, who I don't think did anything in 2023, I think that's the stat. Like, he played some games, he was on the field and present.
Nate,
nothing.
He literally did nothing in the entirety of the year. It was bizarre.
And you have
McTominay.
Whatever.
Yep.
Mick fries with a mixed sandwich side of, Diet Coke out there.
He's making you crazy.
He's Mick. You look bad.
Yeah.
He makes you look like a second-rate player out there. Actually having statistical numbers, and you're just spinning circles.
I told you guys he was good.
No, he's not. That's
good.
my point.
He's not a good player.
Point. He is not good. When that second goal for Nottingham Forest was because McTominay was playing defensive mid and didn't track back and pick up a player and allowed a guy at the top of the box to have a free shot.
That's why Skyland's playing him as a center forward.
Yeah, I mean, trust me.
Fine.
It is.
But if you're a center forward,
bizarre.
you should look at that and go, wow, I'm pretty. If today I got called up and the Bullets were like, Craig, you're not playing forward anymore. Nate's going to play forward in your space. I would hope that you were personally insulted by this, and when you stepped on the field, scored 100 goals.
Yes, that's the way it would normally work, right?
100.
Yes. 100.
What?
We're going to win 100 to
joking.
nothing.
100 goals. Because I'm crap at forward. I'm the McTominay of USL. Okay, I'm not that bad.
Not that bad. Man United do have some problems right now. They got to get a win under the belt. So big problems. But a win in the FA Cup against a lower division team is something that can help breed confidence into them and really maybe start their season. Listen, we're going to put...
You got Ratcliffe walking around now with a new investment group, apparently going to maybe
throw some money in. I don't know. But for as poorly as United have done, they're still in 8th. Look, here's the table.
They're still in 8th.
They're still in 8th. They've won 10 games. Drawn 1, lost 9.
Yeah, Brighton's out of them.
Yeah, Brighton's out of them. Brighton scooted into 7th. West Ham 6th. Tottenham 5th.
Did you say scootered?
Scooted. I don't know.
Scootered.
Nah, scooted.
Brighton already scootered right in there, yeah.
I mean, they do have 10 wins. It's not that far off. The problem is it's either win or loss. There's no draws. The teams above them all have multiple draws on the books. That's what it is. It's keeping those losses out and turning them into draws when you're really struggling. But Nate, you're not right. They have trouble scoring. They've scored 22 goals for this year. Good Lord. The next team down is Crystal Palace in 14th.
Chelsea scored more goals.
And
they're inching closer to Chelsea.
There's only 3 teams who've scored less than. There's only 2 teams who've scored less than them. Sheffield United, Burnley, and Crystal Palace on the same mark.
Scoring's overrated.
Yes. Now, they've got a -5 goal difference. They've let in 29. But that's kind of due to what you said, Nate. Like, they've got Onana's actually done well in parts.
Yes.
And the back line has helped a bit, but 29 goals in isn't bad. All the other teams, 49, 41, 37, 28, 31, 35, 29, 35, 35, 31. There's a couple of teams above them who've let in more. Actually, the funny thing is Brighton have let in 33.
Yeah.
West Ham have let in 30. League leaders Liverpool have only let 18 in. Man City have let in 21. And Arsenal have let in 20. So it's that's where the problem lies. Well, we'll see. We'll see if Man United can get a win tomorrow at Wigan, move into the next round of the FA Cup, and maybe win me some money because I'll probably end up betting on them. Boys, there's a lot of movement around the world right now. It's the January transfer window. Lots and lots of players are coming and going. There's rumors everywhere. We're going to get to talking about that, as you heard us talking about Jadon Sancho heading back to Borussia Dortmund to be roommates with Gio Reyna, probably. We've talked about Eric Dier potentially heading to Bayern Munich.
Oh,
Hey, Harry Kane must be talking very fond of it.
Harry Kane wants his good buddy back.
I think he would do well in the Bundesliga.
But before we get there, before we get to the rumors, the transfers, the moves, and all of that,
oh boy,
I want to get to the USN's men's national team January camp.
MLS All-Stars!
Hey, well, but here's the thing, right?
Not all stars.
There's a lot of players who are moving around the MLS, so we'll talk about the MLS. We'll talk about the January camp for a couple of minutes, and then we'll jump in and we'll talk about those moves that are happening. Brooks, this is your thing, man. This is your thing. How's that January camp? I'm gonna put it on the. I'll put it on the screen here.
Yeah.
But what were your first thoughts when you saw the roster?
So, I get it. So, I understand. It's the January camp. It's always usually been MLS dominant.
Yeah. It's always US.
It usually
MLS
is.
heavy,
You may get a few guys, maybe I think, what was it? No, it wasn't De La Torre. It was, I know he was trying to call in a few guys. I think it was Cardoso and someone else, Berhalter, was trying to get him, but their clubs wouldn't release him.
Mm-hmm.
So he was trying for a few of the international players. But
he was trying for him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
Yes. It just the clubs wouldn't release him.
Okay.
Listen, the goalkeeper's fine. Schulte had one hell of a year. With Columbus Crew winning MLS Cup. I mean, Celentano has been a brick wall for FC Cincy. He's been really good. Drake Callender, listen, Inter Miami guy. I get it. He's kind of had a run since Messi's been there, but he wasn't a bad goalkeeper at Cal Berkeley. San Jose Academy, former Academy player. Is he men's national team worthy?
I mean, I think Callender and Salernito throughout the whole year for FCC has been well.
I think he should start the first game.
Maybe, and then Salernito, the last part of that season for Miami were doing well.
Yeah.
They're both young guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, do all three of them deserve a sniff? I think so.
Yeah.
I think they all deserve one, that's for sure.
Do any of those goalkeepers top the first three that we've had so far in the main game?
No, I think Celentano's the closest one in my opinion. Schulte's working his way there, but I just don't. I mean, Schulte's got to have a few more good seasons and make a move somewhere. And I mean, Celentano, if he keeps doing what he does, maybe he makes a move over to Europe somewhere. But I would say Celentano's probably, if you're going to say one that maybe gets called into one of those international, which he has before.
Okay.
He hasn't played, but yeah. Defenders, listen. I don't care for Nathan Harriel, the Union Academy right back. I think he plays for the Philly Union first team. Not bad. Shaq Moore is Shaq Moore. He's been good in the Gold Cup against the lower end teams. He came into the World Cup and is a good player for Nashville, but at the international level, I don't think so. Ian Murphy, I don't care for. He was a good player at Duke, good athlete, plays for FC Cincy in the back line, but as Nate knows, there's better center backs in front of him, Well,
he's outside, but I mean, it depends because they play with a 3-back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends, and he's a young 23-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. DeJuan Jones for sure. Jackson Reagan is an interesting one. Former, he's back with Seattle. He was a Seattle Sounders Academy player. Played at U of M for 4 seasons.
Okay.
Listen, Jackson, I think deserves a spot in this. Some of my buddies and I were texting. They didn't think Jackson was like Jackson Reagan. I'm like, he deserves it. He wasn't signed as a homegrown by Seattle. Got drafted by Chicago. Chicago dropped the ball and let him go, as the Chicago Fire love to do. And then he's back in Seattle, signed him, and he's injury happened. He fills in, and the dude's starting in CONCACAF Champions League games, and and starting over veteran guys, and he's done well. So I'm looking forward to see him in there. Miles Robinson makes sense. Staying domestically now for FC Cincy, as Nate knows. So
one more year.
yes,
Hooking up with Miazga.
yes.
We'll chat about
which
that in the moves. Yeah,
I was
it's
a little bit
interesting.
disappointed in Matt Miazga, who everyone's like, even though
Yeah, he
I'm
should have been called in.
Yeah, he's the MLS Defensive Player of the Year.
Correct.
Why wouldn't he?
Correct.
So that's a bit.
I would have took him over Ian Murphy. James Sands, I get it. Like James, he's been in there, so for sure
Solid
call him
pick,
in.
in my opinion. Yep.
Nkosi Tafari, I watched this kid play at Seattle U when he was at tournament in Notre Dame. When he was playing in college, played at UConn for like 3 years, then transferred. I mean, listen, he's been a good player for FC Dallas. It was a good pickup for them in the draft. U.S. men's national team worthy. That's a stretch.
Okay.
John Tolkien been in the mix before. I like Caleb Wiley better. John's been in the youth national team setup. So, yeah, there's some defenders I'm not crazy about. It's all right. Midfielders, Atencio's been all right for Seattle Sounders. He plays. Azeel Jackson's come on. He's with Minnesota United too. Then he came over to St. Louis City SC, and he's been playing a bit, so it's been good. Jack McGlynn has started a lot for Union. I'm not a big Jack McGlynn fan. I think he's not a bad player, but international, Aidan Morris, well-deserved. I just think Aidan Morris can compete with international player. When the international players come in, he should be called into the camp. I think he is I like him better than De La Torre and Cardoso, so he's well-deserved. I hope he shows well in the friendlies. Timothy Tillman, sure, good season for LAFC, right? There you go. Sean Zawatsky, former Georgetown player, was in the youth national team setup as well. Listen, he's steady Eddie, good MLS player. It's a little bit of a stretch at the international level, in my opinion, but again, it's a January camp. Forwards, Eshmir, young guy coming up for the Revs. So I get it. He's a young guy, 17, 18, so I get it. That's a good call. Why not bring him in? Let's see what happens, right? Cade Cowell, makes sense.
Yep.
Looking to make a move to Chivas Guadalajara possibly, or overseas. I don't understand the Chivas Guadalajara move, but he does have Mexican descent. So that's why I think Chivas is one of the clubs that they only take Mexican players. So he is technically a dual national, but he chose the United States, and his brother Chance is.
Cade Cowell?
Yeah, he's part Mexican.
He's a dual?
Yes.
And what about Chance?
His little brother Chance is a dual, and I think he's been in with the Mexican youth national team.
Really?
Yeah,
I
he's
did
a
not
San
know.
Jose Academy player.
I was not aware of that.
Yep.
Okay.
The Bernard Kamongo kid, interesting. Young guy for FC Dallas. Came over here from Ghana, and then he's got his citizenship, so why not?
Sure.
Diego Luna's been really good for RSL. Is he an international men's national team player? I'm not going to buy it. I don't think he's athletic enough. Duncan McGuire scored goals left and right after having a good senior season at Creighton and then getting drafted by Orlando City. So for me, why not? He's been rumored with a few clubs overseas that want to buy him, but they have not offered enough money to Orlando City. So why not? I think Duncan McGuire deserves a shot. Listen, Brian White, very good player at Duke. Good start for his career in MLS at New York Red Bull. That's fine. Makes sense. Bring him in. He scores goals for Vancouver. He's not as dominant as he was with NYRB, but listen, that's fine. You can bring him in. I'm interested to see I'll just wrap it up. Interesting guys I'm interested to see that do well. Duncan McGuire, Cade Cowell, he does. Aidan Morris, Jackson Reagan, DeJuan Jones, obviously, and honestly, Celentano. I like to see how he does with the team.
All right. Yeah. Listen, a lot of good players here. I like the fact that it's a majority MLS, and let's get these kids in. Let's see what they can do. We don't need the big superstars around. Nate, I cut you off. Go ahead.
I was going to say the only problem with Aidan Morris is I think you just run out of room.
Yeah.
Within the midfield, with the young guys that you have there now. I get it. He's maybe I could see De La Torre, Johnny Cardoso. I'm not big fans of them as well, but you also have a Tyler Adams who hasn't been part of that group.
Correct, and he plays the same position as Tyler Adams.
And then you got Leonard Maloney who plays the same position.
Correct.
So it's just tough.
Aiden's got to make the move, in my opinion. I think Germany would be a great spot for him. Yeah. I think he can cover the ground. He's technical enough. He gets stuck in. He does the defensive work. He needs to make the move over to Europe.
That or somewhere like Ireland, a team like Ireland, and somewhere is an nitty gritty and get yourself down and get yourself recognized.
Yeah, or Netherlands,
the Netherlands is a great one as well. Yeah.
But imagine a time where you go, hey, You got a lot of talent in your midfield. That
Yeah, we
player's
had
kind
that.
of hard to break in.
It's really
I
close,
mean,
honestly.
That's you got McKennie, Malone, Harrison, Reyna, Tillman, Musa, other Harrison,
Yeah.
Adams, just the ones I like. You know, and I left out Cardosa and De La Torre because Brooks will yell at me if I bring him up.
No, I mean, so it's a good camp. We'll see. It's a good roster for the camp. We'll see if any changes happen, but those players will be in. We'll keep tabs of it and see what goes of it there, right?
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Very interesting. All right, boys. Let's get to it. We've danced around it. There's a lot of players that are coming and going here. Some of the big ones that have happened in the last couple of days here. Timo Werner on his way from RB Leipzig to Tottenham. I've heard a lot of people talking about this one. It's either a weird one or they say it's a good fit. The rumor is he really wanted to get back to the Premiership. He really likes playing the Premiership. I think he likes London. From what I understand, he will. People seem to think he will fit in well with the Tottenham style of play. Ange Postecoglou ball, as they're calling it. He likes to run. He likes the speed. I think Werner could fit in very well at Tottenham. I think it's a good pickup. Here's the kind of specifics of it. Tottenham are going to pay 100% of the salary. There is a clause at the end of the loan, which is in June, which says if they want to purchase Timo Werner, they will be paying anywhere from 18 to 22 million euros. But there's no guarantee that they have to buy him. It's just a decision needs to be made at that point, or at that point he will return to RB Leipzig or opened up to the rest of the market. Brooks, your thought on this one, my friend?
Yeah, I know because he'll have more thoughts. Just my quick thought. I watched I don't know if it was Instagram or it was maybe X. I watched a video. It was like just Ange Postecoglou coaching at Celtic, and it was he's a very one-touch, get the ball to your feet, movement type of guy. And I think that system fits Werner more of. You ask him to not put everything on his back and shoulders to do everything, but to move quickly and play 1-2 touch. I think that fits him a bit more than maybe what was happening at Chelsea.
Sure.
And I think Ange is very, he's got it seemed like he had a very good relationship and rapport with his players at Celtic, and he does now at Tottenham. Yeah. So maybe Timo Werner needs a coach.
Maybe
like
it's something
honestly.
like that. Nate, your thoughts? Timo Werner moving from RB Leipzig.
So if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be excited.
Yeah.
Just it's added depth.
Yeah.
But I don't get Timo Werner as a player. I don't understand him. And here's what I mean. So he's a Stuttgart guy, you know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did crap at Stuttgart. Never did anything. We sold him to Leipzig, and he was on fire.
Yep.
Absolutely on fire, leading up to like the best season he had, which was in 2020, where he scored 34 goals and had 12 assists. And then he went to Chelsea, and then he didn't do really anything in Chelsea.
Well, hold on. The best thing he ever did was in the Champions League final, make a run to create room for Kai Havertz to go through and score the winning goal. And that's about it. You'll remember him for bad miss number 1, bad miss number 2, and carry that all the way through bad miss number 37 through the season. Yes.
So 2020 and 2021, out of 52 games, he had a total of 23 goal-scoring contributions. And then in 2021 to 2022, in 37 games, he had 17.
Yeah.
Then he went back to Leipzig in 2022, 2023. And he actually did all right.
Yeah.
40 games, he had 21 goal-scoring contributions. So like half the time he played, he created
a goal.
Assist.
Yep. Yeah.
And then there was this year.
How's this year been going?
14 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. And not playing and on the bench. And no, I know what you're thinking. Maybe they changed the system. Maybe they changed the coach. Nope. And actually, they got rid of Solskjaer, so there was actually more room for him actually to play. So I am confused on Timo Werner as a player, and I don't know what Tottenham is going to get. I don't know if Tottenham's going to get the Timo Werner of old Leipzig, or are they going to get the Timo Werner of this year?
Right.
He's never done anything for the national team, and he's just a perplexing player. He's not a forward. So if you're expecting him to be a forward, he's never been. That's actually where he struggled, is when you put him as a forward. He plays out wide. So who is he going to beat out wide for Tottenham? in their current lineup.
Son's there, and then who's on the other
Well,
side?
so you got Kulishevsky on the one side.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got Son coming in from the other.
Right.
You've got James Madison, who can't stay healthy at the moment through the
Right.
center.
So he
You've
might
got
be.
Richarlison up top. But I think what he does is
Anyone's better than Richarlison.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But
I-
his-
actually, honestly, and I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
I don't think Timo Werner is a better target forward than Richarlison, and maybe I'll be proved wrong. But again, he was successful for Leipzig out wide left.
Yeah.
So I think
In space,
What
where he
type
can
of player
operate.
he is we all know he's very quick. He is very quick, and he's electric with the ball. He'll create space. He'll create other opportunities for other players, as we heard. Maybe not so many goals, but creating the goal-scoring opportunities.
But I think that's why it fits Ange's system, and I wonder if this was an Ange decision or if it was a Daniel Levy.
I'm going to guess this is an Ange Postecoglou decision, personally, 100%. I think it's on him because this is the type of player he likes.
Yeah.
I think
I'm going to correct
think
all
this could
you.
work.
This was a Leipzig decision to get rid of a player that was literally sitting there that they weren't using.
Well, yes, but where
get
does
some
he
money
go?
from him.
Who does he want?
And-
Who does he
and-
go? Who wants him? I think as Postecoglou said, we will take him if we can get him.
And he was not used to the point where other players that just came in and were totally better and used well over him. I don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
And honestly, so worst case scenario, this is where I say it's good for Tottenham. Worst case scenario, he's alone.
Yeah.
You're done. You don't have to sign him.
Yep.
So that's great business.
Oh, it's
for Tottenham.
great bit of business.
And
Absolutely.
Like you said, if James Madison, it gives you a little bit more depth.
Yep.
It gives you a player that knows the league a little bit. So if you need him to go in, I'm just sitting here going, I'm not sure what type of Timo Werner you're about to get because, yeah, he was good in spats here, there, and everywhere, but the guy's been so inconsistent throughout his career playing, and it's not like he tore it up in the Premier League the last time he was there.
This is a win-win for everybody involved. It's a win because Tottenham don't have a guarantee to buy him. They get him on the cheap. He's at RB Leipzig, and that's not a huge salary, so they're just picking up his salary for the next 6 months. Win for them. Win for RB Leipzig because he's a guy who's in and out of the lineup or in and out off the bench, not getting the business done on the field, and they are saying, he's just soaking up money here. We need to put him in the shop window to possibly sell him because he doesn't fit in anymore. What can we do? Oh, we get Tottenham to pick up his salary and to see how good he is. And it's a win for Timo Werner because he's sitting on the bench right now and he wants to play because guess what's coming up this summer? The Euros.
Yes.
He wants to put himself in the window to be bought by another club because obviously his time at RB Leipzig is up and done, and he wants to get into that German national team. Win, win, win. I think it's a great situation all around.
Leipzig is sitting fourth. They could use attacking players, and they just got rid of one.
So
That should tell you a lot, right?
here's agreed.
And again, it's
interesting.
not a
Yeah.
new coach.
Yeah.
Marco Reus was the coach when he came in and used the hell out of him last year.
So here's the funny thing. Did you hear the other rumor, the other rumored team that was looking at Timo Werner?
Yeah, Man United.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a
You
difference.
need a white player,
No,
though.
hold on, but there's a difference because
You do.
I could use
Yes.
him
Yes.
over Anthony
Yes.
any day of the week.
Yes.
Why didn't Man United go after him?
Because we're awful.
Could you? I mean, if Timo Werner comes into
Wait,
the team,
hold on. If you're Timo Werner, who would you rather go play for? That's. I hate to say that.
The shitstorm at Man United
right now,
or the
Danny-
Tottenham with
right
Ange?
Now, right now, Danny's like, I'm never inviting Nate back to my house again. I'm sure if he's a United fan. But seriously, who would you rather go play for right now?
Tottenham.
you're not wrong. You're not
You're
wrong.
not wrong.
That's
Well,
not a hard decision
And that's
for
probably
me.
was Tino's decision.
But for two reasons, right? One, because there's a pattern of play and a style and a distinct style of play at
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
At Man United, you just don't know from game to game what's going to show up and what's
Yep.
going to be there, right?
Yep.
There's no consistency. I think that I'm agreeing with you, but if I'm Man United, I would 100% would have thrown more money at this and said, we need this because we need speed. We need to get Anthony off the field. We need to find a way to bring in some new blood into this. And someone who's obviously been in the Premiership. Another win for all three, Tottenham,
But-
Leipzig, and Timo Werner, has Premiership experience.
What I'm saying is Werner could, maybe I'm going to eat my words here in like 3 weeks. Fine, whatever. But Werner could be Anthony
2.0.
2.0.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's
you're
not
right.
like, again, it's not like he was tearing things up at Chelsea to the point where He's been hot. He's been cold. He's been hot. He's been cold. I don't know what player you're going to get. I don't know.
But like what Craig said, though, you're not expecting him to come in and be the guy. He's just some depth.
Just another guy. But hey,
Yeah.
you know what? We'll see. I'm interested to see how he does. I thought he was a good player at Chelsea, but the pressure seemed to get to him, and the easy chances he missed. He was like another version of Kai Havertz. It's almost you forgot how bad Kai Havertz was is because Timo Werner was there missing chances.
But it's like them taking Kai Havertz and playing him forward consistently when he's not a forward player.
Yeah.
That's not where he's playing at Arsenal right now.
Yep. All right, another player that is involved in rumors right now, England, Germany, but going in the other direction from Tottenham to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich looking at Eric Dier.
This makes sense.
I like the move.
Just so everybody's aware, Eric Dier, in the last couple of years, has moved from defensive center midfielder back to center back, where he has made some pretty big mistakes. Even Tottenham fans have said, please, yes, he's a dedicated young man, but please not on the field, get him away. Ange Postecoglou comes in and tells him you can leave if you can find the right team. There was some going-ons behind the scene. He didn't want to leave. He was going to stick around. Now I think he sees the writing on the wall. Ange Postecoglou ain't going anywhere anytime soon. He started 2 games so far, 2 or 3 games, and that's only because of injuries. For several games early in the season, not even on the bench, nowhere near the first team. I think he's a good player. I do not think he is Bayern Munich caliber. I think it's going to be hey, we're going to bring him in to be a backup or just in case or to play in some of the other games outside of Champions League and outside of
He just needs a new environment.
Bayern or the Bundesliga.
So a couple of things to consider when you say that. They're looking at several defensive players.
Yes.
Because right now they have defensive injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Bonasar is injured. Missouri's injured. Kim's hot and cold.
Yeah, the center
Lit's
back.
been in and out. Davis is just coming back from injury. Up at Kendo, you can't trust. And so they actually have a lot of backline problems right now. But I think you could put him back in defensive center mid, and to fix your problems, put Kimmich back as a right back because they don't have one right now.
That would be an interesting one.
So this actually might make a lot of sense to where they might have him rotating in and out of that defensive midfield spot with a Goretzka that can't stay healthy most of the time.
We can't cover ground like he used to.
Yeah, and you might actually have, another defensive midfield player and then take Kimmich and put him back in defense where he was good before. So this could make a lot of sense from that aspect.
It's interesting.
And maybe they're looking at it like that, going, hey, he wasn't bad as a defensive midfielder, and he could be good as a defensive midfielder here, and we don't want him as a center back, but we already got a couple center backs. We need an outside back. We got an outside back who's playing defensive midfield. Hey,
it makes sense if you can get him on the cheap as well.
Yeah.
Maybe Harry Kane wants a good buddy to come help him. I don't know. Maybe that as well. But
Harry Kane's put in the word for him.
Maybe, possibly. I mean, I'm sure they would have asked, right? What type of player is he? What type of does he show up to training? Does he put in the effort?
He's been at Tottenham for so long and through so many managers. He just needs a new scene.
He has been through a lot of managers.
I don't think he's actually, honestly, that bad of a player. I just think he's got to get a new environment.
He does need a new environment. I agree with you. He's slow of foot, in my opinion. And he's
for the EPL. I think the Bundesliga he'll be fine.
We'll see.
So
see.
You're going down in competition too.
Put the players around him, and possibly he's just a little slow, and he makes a boneheaded mistake here and there. But it is an interesting one. Did not see Bayern Munich reaching out to him, but there you go. All right, one we talked about earlier, Jadon Sancho back to Borussia Dortmund. The deal is Man United loaning Jadon Sancho back, no buy option. So the option is no, you don't get to buy him. He's coming right back here in June. This has been done for several. Here's why.
You can take him off our hands. Just take him off our hands.
Here's why.
I thought it would be a loan with you must buy option.
Yes.
We don't have a must buy option. No, we have one now.
We have one now.
Here's
for half the price.
Here is why there's a no buy option. If Borussia Dortmund came to Man United and said we want to buy him, how much do you think he would cost right now?
$5
You're not wrong.
for
Now,
United to pay Dortmund.
it's going the other way. So minus $5.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's say he goes to Borussia Dortmund and does well
I can't wait for him to sit at the bench for Borussia Dortmund.
and gets along well with the team and does well and somehow shows up on the field, puts a ball in the net, looks like the Jadon Sancho of 4 years ago. If that happens, then United can go, yeah. No, not the minus $5 we originally talked about in January. We're going to require anything, which is going to be a positive, right? Now, even if Borussia Dortmund come back and say, no, we don't want him, if he keeps his nose clean and if he can somewhat perform, there may be another team in the world who goes, wait, there's still something to it. There's still something to this kid. We'll take it out. We'll take a little bit of an option here, and we'll
Stuttgart.
Juventus? Wasn't Juventus wanting him for a little while?
That was the rumor. That was the rumor.
It is kind of sad because at one point Jadon Sancho was a very sought after player.
Yeah, he really was.
It's not like
I mean, you don't pay £75 million for a nobody.
He set records at Dortmund.
Yeah.
He
He
set, like
was
youngest
really good.
guy to like score X amount of goals and some stuff. He was very, very good.
Yep.
And then he just, I think ego got to it. That's the only thing I can explain. He apparently had some problems at Dortmund with showing up on time and things like that there. And then that was like totally blown up even at United. But I have to believe that Dortmund know what they're getting themselves into.
They know the
for
kids.
this,
They know the kids.
because Edin Tadzik, the coach, has been part of that training staff for eons, right? So he was an assistant, and he was this, he was that.
So he's
before
worked
head
with them
coach.
before.
He's worked with them, so he knows
Yeah.
that what he's gonna get.
Yep.
And I can't believe that if he was such a problem at Dortmund, that he would be willing to take him back. Because I don't know. He's not an instant starter in my mind. There are players.
Yeah,
that
the
I
players
think,
are there. But see, this is why
But
it's
good
not a bad
depth.
option, right?
No, it's not. It's good depth. It's not a bad option. You know, they need some attacking prowess there too. But I don't see him as an instant starter. I see several players. Giddings, Adamini, Brandt, Royce, through that front three.
Yep.
That left, right, and attacking mid spot that he plays that are kind of ahead of the depth chart. He's going to have to work in order to find time.
And maybe that's a good thing for him. He
Maybe.
knows he doesn't have to come in and be a starter and be the guy he used to be. He can just come in, work his way back, get a feel for it, eat some of the sausage, drink some of the beer on a Friday night instead
so
of playing, and then all of a sudden he's back to normal. Who knows? It's an interesting one, right? It's a really interesting
I
one.
just think some English guys they aren't just fit for, like, they grew up in England. They're just not fit for all that stuff. They need to go away and be in a different environment. Maybe that's just
You might be
Sancho.
right.
But he went away and was in a different environment.
And he did well. But he did well.
He did
He
well.
did well,
Then
and
he
then
came back.
Then he
and
came back
It was
and-
too familiar. And then I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that one. All right. Ivan Toney.
What about? Don't forget Newcastle's rumor.
Hold on. Let's finish this one. Then I want to get to
Yeah.
that one. It might be one I have on the board here, but we'll let you go with
All
it.
right.
Let's go with this one first. Ivan Toney, the Brentford striker who has been banned for almost 8 months, will be back very soon. Played, I believe it was yesterday or today, I can't remember now, for Brentford B in a friendly, scored a hat trick.
Oh, of course.
Rumors are Arsenal and Chelsea after him. A couple of other teams, clubs in the world after him. Brentford have set the transfer fee at 100 million. 100 million pounds. So you're telling me Bayern Munich paid 100 million pounds for Harry Kane, and this guy is of the same ilk, the same money, the same price? No. I think they're actually just warding away all those clubs and saying, we actually need him to come back, and we want to climb the table by having him score goals. He must be looking pretty good, though. I think he's kept himself fit. I think he'll slot right back in, and he'll be all right. 100 million pounds, though? It's a bit much, boys. We agree? For a guy who's been banned for 8 months.
Yeah, I mean, but they did score goals when they needed it.
That's go away money.
That's either you really want him or exactly, Nate, go away. Go away. Come back in the summer, and we'll see what happens.
The only thing, a lot of clubs have tried that, to go away money. And, I mean, Brighton got a lot for Casado from Chelsea.
But here's the thing. That's go away money. But if someone goes, yeah, we'll pay that, you go, oh, you know who we can go buy 2 players.
Maybe they got to call Butthead and see what he's going to do.
Mr. Todd Bowley, as
Yeah.
you is calling him Butthead.
Yeah.
Nate,
Yeah.
I am. Let's see if it's the same rumor that I've got on my board. What is the Newcastle rumor, my friends?
Let's say the last name on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mbappe? I don't know who you're going with.
Shadow Glycerai from Stuttgart.
Oh, yes.
Is
yes.
reportedly
Oh,
Newcastle
yes.
are hot
The hot goal scorer.
for
Yes.
him. As is Man United is a little bit reported.
Didn't we swap? Did we swap texts on this one a couple of days ago?
I mean, yeah, Nate put it in the group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
So that is a rumor. I've only heard it from a few sources, but nothing's firm. The one thing I did hear is
I was about to say, anything firm, anything,
No.
do you have a
No.
feeling that this is going to come off?
The president or one of the board members of Stuttgart came out and said he doesn't feel he's going to go anywhere, that he feels that he's happy, he's at home. You know, he had options to go elsewhere in the summer, and he chose to stay at Stuttgart.
Good news.
You know, but the perplexing thing is always that $17 million release clause, which is incredibly low. Now, maybe that was done because he was going, hey, I don't know if you guys are going to be relegation battle again, and I want to get out if you do.
Sure.
And I don't want to be stuck here because I don't want to play League Two. So that could be the thing. Or it could be I'm waiting for a specific team. So I don't know, but that was a Newcastle rumor. Man United has been pinging around the works for that.
Well, the unfortunate piece is that if a lot of other clubs come in for him, we'll say whoever it may be, Newcastle have a ton of freaking money that they can offer the guy in salary, which would entice a lot of people, right?
Yeah, and
So-
statistically speaking, and this is why it's important. So for those who are like, I don't know what a Stuttgart is, I don't know who this player is, I don't care about the Bundesliga, shut up, Nate, you're dumb. There is a young, up-and-coming striker that has recently moved to the Bundesliga. Maybe you guys have heard of him, a Harry Kane.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Very young and promising.
If you want to draw some correlations, obviously he's not as good as Harry Kane, but he's only a few goals back within the league through playing all the same teams that Harry Kane has been playing. He has, Garisse has a better goals per minute than Harry Kane does currently. And Harry Kane, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, not an expert in the Premier League, but I think he did fairly well in the Premier League.
Several golden boots, yeah.
So if
yeah,
you're
to his
looking
name.
at two players playing in the same league that played the same teams that are statistically almost comparable, with that low amount of money, you're willing to take a risk on.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's where a lot of this comes in. It's not that he's just scoring goals, is he's on pace with Harry Kane in the same league.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've heard from Newcastle as well that the Brazilian striker they have, they're looking to move him out, or he wants to move out, I believe. I read something there on social media that he wants to. So, I mean, like, it makes sense, right? Like, you know.
Yeah.
And they need goal scorers as they're not scoring goals.
And the price is cheap enough. You may as well lay it out now in January and get it before someone else jumps in. Brooks, you had mentioned the rumor earlier about Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, there's actually two from the Saudi League guys that want.
Well, I don't know if I know the second one, but let's focus on the Jordan Henderson
All
one.
right, I'll tell you the
Jordan
other one
Henderson
after.
Moves from being the club captain of Liverpool to Saudi Arabia.
Was he playing for Steven Gerrard's team?
Yes. Yes, he was signed by.
And he
Steven
has
Gerrard's team.
I think he's lost, and he's not won in I don't think he's won yet this year. Steven Gerrard.
Got to be honest, have not paid attention.
I just saw it on
at
social
all.
media. That's why.
We got to look that up. We got to look that up
Yeah.
if he has one. Haven't paid attention to the Saudi Arabian League at all. I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that they haven't won, or maybe he's not enjoying it. Whatever. He is getting paid a fortune to be out there. I think he is not enjoying life there. I think he's not enjoying the soccer there. I think he's going, you know what? I want to play in the Euros. I'm definitely not going to make that Euro squad if I stay here. Let me see if I can at least get a transfer back into England, into a Premiership team. You tell you what, though, Liverpool ain't going to want him because they full in the midfield. They got some good players to replace him, as we talked about earlier. So, Jordan Henderson, you may be on the out here, my friend. Sorry about your luck. Brooks, I'm really interested to know the other player.
By the way, Steven Gerrard's club, Al Attifaq, has not won since October 28th.
So what's their record? Do you know what their record is since then?
What the fuck?
Al Attifaq. That is the name of the club now.
Yes. They are 6, 7, and 6, and they currently sit in 8th place. Al Hilal and Al Nassr are at
I didn't think I'd see a manager do worse than Wayne Rooney at Birmingham City, but there you have it, Steven Gerrard at Al Attifaq. And as Nate said, what the Attifaq is he doing?
What the fuck is going on over there?
Exactly.
The other rumor is one Bobby Firmino was at the Liverpool match earlier, and he wants to actually leave the Saudi Arabian League, and I think MLS is on his list and some other.
What name is that team?
Oh, I don't know. Let me see.
I can rope this into
Exactly.
a fun.
I did not. I knew.
Oh,
that
he plays
was
for Al Ali.
Al Ali.
Yeah, Al Ali, and they sit in. Oh, I don't know.
Holy Muhammad Ali! He was in the stands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did know that he was in the stands of the game the other week. Back in town watching Liverpool play. Listen, these guys knew what they were signing up for. It's not like it was a fly-by-night all of
Money?
a sudden. That's it. That's it. They were signing up for the money. I mean, you don't just go there for 4 months and then say, I'm out.
but look what happened. Like, they all left, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Saudi Arabia League's gonna be this, and this," and like,
Wasn't Fox Sports supposed to pick them up and they never did?
yes,
I know they were. I don't know if it didn't happen.
they had the
or it hasn't
What was
happened
going to
yet.
happen? Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah.
They were supposed to. I didn't know.
I haven't watched any of those games.
But like now, all your guys want to leave, and I'm like, "Oh, like this helps your league, doesn't it?"
I'm gonna start to believe this when I see players actually leave. If I see Firmino, not just 1 or 2, I need to see 3 or 4. I need to see a Mane, a Henderson, a Firmino, a whoever it may be leave. Then I'll start to believe that this league's falling apart.
Yeah.
But for now, I think it's just rumors. I think maybe it's because it's January. People are putting those things around, but you never know. It's bizarre.
I know Firmino says open to Premier League return. So
when does the Saudi league finish, or is it just pretty much started up?
great question.
I mean, I don't know. Does it run on?
I will look at this.
I was looking at trying to watch some games on Fox Sports, and
Yeah. No.
So we're at match 19 of 30. Hold on a second.
Oh, so it's on the same European schedule then. It's
Yeah.
on the same schedule, same starting in August and goes through till May probably.
Yeah, so let's
Ish.
see. Match 34 is going to be the date of, come on, computer.
All right, we do have one more we are going to talk about, but we're going to wait a minute. We got some big news that broke earlier this
27.
afternoon. We are going to be right back after this quick video.
Tempo, yes, drop out, good, yes, touch play, right foot, yes, scan, good, touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan, yes, Jay, well done, good side on touch, play, see it, yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hey, do us a huge favor. We got a couple of new videos up on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and visit those. Give them a watch. Do us a solid as well. Give us a like. Give us a subscription. Give us a share while you're there. We appreciate it. And if podcasts are your thing, please give us 5 stars and leave us a nice review. Let Brooks know that his voice is nice and sultry and Nate yells too much. But leave us that review and make it 5 stars. We'd very much appreciate it. Again, if you haven't had a chance to watch our Christmas special, go ahead and give that a quick view. It's a quick one. It's like 20 minutes. We talk about some things from 2023, what we're looking forward to in 2024, and then we head down to the soccer field. Well, Danny, Nate, Brooks, and myself do a quick golf, foot golf and crossbar challenge. 2 different challenges. And there is one clear-cut winner. Brooks won that, as we mentioned earlier.
It was very merry.
We were all dressed up. We were ready to go.
Yeah.
It was a good time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thought we had a good time. We got a lot accomplished.
A lot of the kids in this area thought, Danny was an actual Santa, so they wanted to actually, yeah.
A lot of the little kids wanted to come up and sit on Danny's lap, and then so did Nate.
Yes.
But that's the way it goes. We got a lot to get to. We're going to play a little game very soon called Hot and Cold. We are going to do a little bit of Wheel of Randomness. Maybe if we have some time. We're going to talk about the newest rumor that's coming up today. It's an old rumor, but it's a new rumor. It's a new version of the rumor. We'll see what you like there. And then just so everybody's aware, next week we will not have a live show. We will not be here, but we will have some additional content, so check in on all of our social channels. And then the following week we will be back live. So back live on January 21st, but no show next Sunday. All right, it's an old rumor, but a new version of that old rumor. Kylian Mbappe has apparently signed a deal with Real Madrid. This is the new version of the rumor. Listen, you can sign contracts with clubs you don't play for, called a pre-contract, when you're in the last 6 months of your current contract. And apparently he has done this again. He's already done this once, and then he bailed on it, and he went back to PSG. PSG paid him a lot of money. They convinced him in this past summer to sign up for another one-year deal. He has done that. That one-year deal comes to a close this summer. Real Madrid has always been his destination of choice. Will it actually happen? Does anybody believe that he's actually going to move this time, or PSG going to throw more money at him and convince him to stay once again? If I had to put money on it right now, I'd say he moves. I'd say this summer, Kylian Mbappe moves to Real Madrid, and he teams up with Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. I think it happens. I think it happens this summer. I think that's the player they've been waiting for. Boys, any thoughts on that?
I think he doesn't. He likes croissants too much.
You think he stays in Paris because of the croissants?
Yes, and the baguettes.
And the women that look like men. And the baguettes, yes. Nate, any thoughts? You think he stays or you think he goes?
I'm not a Madrid fan. I don't really care about the Spanish league because,
Yeah.
But I pray that he does because
you want to see him compete in a better league, right?
I said it when he was playing the World Cup.
You mean MLS?
That it's a shame. It's a shame that Mbappe doesn't play in a real league because he's so damn talented and he's so fun to watch. And if I look at that Madrid team, the way it sits right now, that would be a very exciting team to watch for you.
Absolutely.
And I might not watch, I might not watch the La Liga, fine, whatever, but I do watch the Champions League, and it would be hella fun to see. I mean, he should. He's one of the better players. I hate to say the best because he plays in. You can't say he's the best because he plays at PSG, right? It's like you can't. Mbappe's the best player in the world. Is he? Plays at PSG. And you know what? French league sucks. Sorry. It sucks. Okay? Is what it is.
No need to apologize. I think we're all
right now there's some French going, Sacre bleu, oui, oui, how dare you? And then he's and then deeper offended at that. Anywho,
While he's eating a croissant.
yeah, but it's like, so it's hard for me to go, he's one of the best players in the world who plays in one of the shittiest leagues there is. But if he played at Madrid, I know he'd be doing well. And he'd be getting the clout he deserves as one of the best players in the world. He'd be talked about with the likes of Ernie Holland and some of these other greats that are playing right now.
Yep.
But he plays for PSG, so nobody cares. You know what I mean? Nobody sees him on a weekly basis. And maybe you see him for a little bit in the Champions League until they go out in the round of 16 to whoever, Yep. So it's just like, go play for a real damn team so we can appreciate it more. Damn it.
Took the words out of my mouth, man. That's it. Go play for a real team because no one watching Ligue 1.
I think it was.
Sorry about it. Maybe we watch you guys when you're in the Champions League, but besides that,
I think it was Eric Cantona that said the same thing as well. He can't call himself one of the best players in the world because he plays in the French league.
Yep.
And Eric Cantona's French.
Yep. I think it happens. I think he moves to Real Madrid. I think he teams up with Bellingham and Vinny Jr. Oh, and by the way, Carlo Ancelotti, who signed a brand new contract there. I think that is really what helped get this deal over the line. Again, pre-contract, he can change his mind. Newcastle, with all their money, could come in at the last second. But do you want to go to Newcastle? Do you want to go to Newcastle?
Let him go. Stop it.
Yeah, seriously.
Let him go play with like the likes of Bellingham and Camavinga and Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo, and let us enjoy it. Stop it.
Agreed.
Stop it.
Agreed.
Stop
all right.
with your oil.
Speaking of French teams, there's one French team who traveled 4,000 miles to compete in a cup competition against Lille. It was from one end of the country all the way to the other. 4,000 miles. That's a hell of a long way, by the way. And they lost 12-0. So they had an 8,000-mile round trip, boys.
That's what happens sometimes.
Ooh, that's a long way to lose 12-0. I hope for the fans' sake that club picked up the tab because that's a lot. That's a lot of miles. As we mentioned earlier, Napoli have dropped to 7th in Serie A. The Serie A champions from last year are having a hell of a bad season this season, and it is not going well. I still think their Greek midfielder Kvaratskhelia leaves. I think he ends up at Man City in the summer, if not sooner. And I do think Osimhen could very well this summer be on his way as well. So
even after that new contract that's worth a bajillion, half and a canillion dollars.
Gelato?
I think so.
So what is it, 175 million or some whack?
Yeah,
it's a lot of gelato.
I think so. I think they'll find a way. I think he'll
Who's
come.
they?
I think
PSG.
PSG.
Yes.
Maybe.
Newcastle.
PSG. Or Newcastle.
Yeah.
Or what happens is Osimhen goes, you know what? We sucked this year. I didn't enjoy this. You made fun of me on social media.
But he extended his contract.
I know I signed a new contract, but I don't want to be here anymore. So you're either going to sell me for a large amount of money, but it ain't going to be 175. Sell me for about 125. Get yourself a deal. Let me get out of here. See you later. It could happen. It's happened before. The club can say no, but I don't think I think he leaves. I think they'll do so poorly in the last half of the season here that he could be gone. So, interesting news there. All right, boys, let's play a little game called Hot and Cold. I'm going to give you the name of a player.
Cold.
It's cold.
Michigan.
It's cold outside.
It is cold.
Cold outside.
It is, yeah.
You live in a bullshit state.
I know.
Sorry.
I don't know why we all
It's a
moved
hand.
here.
Moved.
I
moved out and then came back for whatever
I
ridiculous,
moved here and stayed
dumbass
here.
reason.
We're going to play a game called Hot and Cold, and I'm going to give you the name of a team or a player, and you're going to tell me whether you think they're hot or they're cold for the upcoming rest of the season, right? The upcoming games here. So I'm going to give you, we'll say, let's start off with Nate. I'll throw you a softball. All right. You talked about it earlier. Rest of the season from here on out, Man United, are they going to be hot or are they going to be cold?
You know, I said during the Christmas special that they'll finish the top 4. And then we beat Aston Villa, and I said, see? And then we pooped ourselves again, Nottingham Forest, and I went, I was wrong.
Just like that, quick.
See, I was wrong, is what I meant to say.
You have the poop pad over there.
I'm gonna. Can I say lukewarm? I can't. It has to be hot or cold. All right. It's cold. It's. Honestly, unless things dramatically change, and I don't know what that would mean. I don't. I
Don't see
I'm
it
walking
changing.
it back. They're not finishing top 4, so that would be cold.
Yeah. All right. Brooks, hot or cold? Man United go into the rest of the season here.
Cold.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cold, unfortunately. The funny thing was, I was digging up. Where did it go? I was digging up my predictions, EPL top 7 predictions we all did at the beginning of the year.
Oh yeah, did you do all of them? Did you write all of ours now?
I only wrote mine down because I didn't write anybody else's down.
Come
Well,
on,
I don't
Craig.
want to say I didn't. I don't want to say I went back and watched it. I still had it in my notes who I picked so that I could read out during the live show. I had Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, United. I had United finishing 4th.
You were a believer, huh? There you go.
Not really a believer, but just hey, how have they done the last 30 years of my watching intently on this, right? I did have Villa finishing 5th, by the way, Chelsea and then Spurs. But I think they finished outside of the top 7, and it may be. I said it 2 months ago, Nate. That may be the best thing that happens to the club finishing outside of Europe, because then they can go back internally and say, let's really take a look at ourselves. Let's really go, what type of system do we want to have for scouting? What type of executive board do we want? Who's going to be the manager? How are we going to move this club forward? So who knows? Maybe.
I still don't think you'd change the manager. I don't think you have an appropriate team that any manager would come in and be able to do well.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. If you're going to change a manager, you got to do it in the summer, right? When you can change a team around. All right, moving on. Hot or cold from here on out, Tottenham. Bringing in Timo Werner, by the way, and maybe shipping out Eric Dier. And they get James Maddison back. And their Dutch starting center back, Mickey van de Ven, who went down with a hamstring injury in early November. So, hot or cold, Tottenham. Are you buying into Ange Postecoglou?
I'm gonna say hot.
Hot, huh?
Yeah, I buy into Ange ball.
I call it Postecoglou ball.
Can I call it Angie ball?
You can call it Angie ball. You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Nate, you going hot or cold for the rest of the season for Tottenham there?
Cold.
Ooh. You think they've hit their high point and now it's all
Hit your high
downhill for
point,
them?
now it's downhill.
All right.
Wow.
Where are they going to struggle most? Defensively, you think? Because that's where they've struggled in the last 2 months. Or is it going to be scoring goals?
I think it's gonna be on the defensive front.
Yeah, I think you might be right, my friend.
And I just think look at your schedule here, and I look who they have to play, and I think it's I think you're gonna have a real hard time from April to May when you play Newcastle, City, Arsenal, Tottenham, all right there.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna throw a club in here for you that we may be changing our minds on. Everton, hot or cold?
Hot.
They're gonna go hot for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've picked it up here in the last 6 weeks.
And
They've
even
been
with
very
that
good.
point deduction, I mean,
the 10
Sean
points.
Dice was like, forget everyone else. Like, just don't listen to anything.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I go hot with Everton as well.
Yeah.
Nate?
I think hot.
Yeah.
I think hot. We'll see how they do through the stretch. But I think they could still finish, obviously mid-table, which I think would be good for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be a huge accomplishment.
Huge accomplishment, especially the first 5-6 weeks of the season. We were all so just down on them because of how poor they looked and how they just could not get on the board. I think you're right there, boys. All right. Brighton player, Mitoma. Hot or cold? Because he started out on fire, and he scored some goals. Even towards the end of last year, we're like, oh, this player here, oh, my word. Yeah. But he has cooled off in the last 2 to 3 months.
He's had some injuries, right?
Couple. Still young. Right. Hot or cold? Is he gonna pick it back up and get back to hot, or do you think he continues his little cold streak here?
I'm going to say hot. But also Brighton I've read some rumors on social media that they're looking to bring in a young Argentinian player. Yep. And I just think De Zerbi, he figures it out. And I think they'll be fine. Listen, are they going to be top 4? I don't think so. Yep. But, if they can hang around, into that, 8 to 6 range,
Mhm.
You know, I think that'd be another great season for them. So I
agree.
think he'll find it
I think
again.
that is another good season for them, actually.
Yeah.
Nate, hot or cold, Matoma?
Gold. Brighton sucks. Move on.
Oh, thanks, Nate.
That's funny. All right. All right. We got 2 more for you here. Liverpool, hot or cold? They have been hot. They've been flying almost the entire season. They played really well today, ground out that win. Are they going to continue this hot streak and maybe win the Premiership or the FA Cup? Or are they going to hit a little bit of a bump now that Wataru has gone off to the Asian Cup, Salah has gone off to the AFCON Cup? What do we think? They're gonna continue hot streak, or are they gonna go cold? Nate?
They're going to be hotter than Danny Price with his shirt off.
Oh, they're fiery hot.
Fiery hot.
Fiery hot. My word.
Fiery hot.
I gotta sit down. Oh, I'm already sitting down.
I think they have a very deep midfield, even without Indo sitting in there. As soon as you get Salvatore back healthy, you still have Gravenbach, you still have, Elliott's been all right, and you still got McAllister. So I think you're fine there.
Yep.
And as far as Mo Salah out, you still got Diaz, Nunez, Jota. I think you're good. I think you got the depth. I think you're all right. I think you're gonna keep on keeping on.
I was hoping there would be a little bit of a cold streak coming, but I don't see it.
No, the only cold in my heart is not seeing Danny with his shirt off.
Well, maybe you can get some late night picks from him later.
Yeah, hopefully.
Danny, you know the assignment. Brooks, are we going hot or cold? Do you think there's going to be a cold streak for Liverpool coming up?
No, hotter than Shakira's hips.
Whoa,
those
damn,
hips don't lie.
They don't lie.
Those hips
Don't
don't
lie.
lie. That's
Yep.
pretty good. All right, boys, I'm going to give you one here. Last one, hot or cold? My Aston Villa. Do they continue their hot streak? They've had a little bit of a they've had some blips, all right? They've had the Man United blip, the Forest blip, little Sheffield United blip.
What are we defining as hot, though? Finishing top 4, or
I mean, they're second right now in the table.
yeah, I know. So that's what I'm asking. Like,
I would say
they
I was
dropped out of top 4. Is that still hot?
No. I think you drop out of top 4, you've hit a cold streak, and
Even though
and a
you weren't
patch.
expecting to be there?
Yeah, no, because they've been hot, right? They've gotten to
Okay,
this
no,
point with some hot streaks. So
Trying to figure it out.
hot for me is they stick in that top 4. Cold is they drop out of that top 4.
I'm gonna go cold.
Okay, you want to explain, or are you just going to take a random guess?
No. There's too many, kind of like you've expressed, there's too many bumps in the road.
Yep.
Bumps that aren't good bumps that blow out your tire kind of bumps. So I would definitely, I think out of the top 4, I think top 6 is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they finish outside top 4.
Right. Nate, hot or cold? Where did Villa go from here?
I'm going to go hot.
Oh, okay.
Wow, he's a believer.
You think they continue, or just do that because Brooks said cold?
I'm going to go hot.
Okay.
Because every team I love crashes in a fiery blue. So the only way to get you, Mr. Hearn, is to join you.
I like it.
You've turned Nate.
Well,
you got Danny on board too. So.
Yeah, Danny's been on board for a while.
Yeah.
And by the way, Sir Alex Ferguson was on board from game 1, even though we lost 5-1. Right? He was on board as a Villa fan. He said they played the best football I saw all weekend, even though they lost 5-1.
Yep.
Because the game of football is a funny game. I actually think that we saw the cracks really start to come in that United game in that second half. We got tired. We got sloppy. We couldn't make the changes we wanted to make because we had a couple of injuries and just tired legs and suspensions. I think the suspensions will catch up with us. I think Villa the wind changes and they start to blow cold, unfortunately. As a Villa fan, I'm super happy. I'm super pumped where we are. I'm glad that we've gotten to the point where we're at now in second place in the table. But I've seen this before. There's a game every year where you just go, that was it. That was the game. That's where the winds change and the tune starts to fade, and we'll have to ride it on out from here and see how it goes. But I think it goes cold, unfortunately. I think we find those bumps. Villa really struggle to break down teams and who sit in and do the low block. That's what Middlesbrough did yesterday. They had a low block on us. They had about 5 breakaways. They broke breakouts that Villa were able to snuff out or were saved. But other than that, Middlesbrough didn't put up anything. Villa hold all the possession, the shots. And man, were they poor in the final third and the finishing. And I just think that's the way it's going to continue to go. So I think they'll blow cold, but it's unfortunately that's the way it goes. We'll see. Still a long time, lot left in the season. All right. Again, I do want to say a big thank you to our sponsors. A big thank you to Soccer World. Thank you for being there, Soccer World. SoccerWorld.net is where you can get all your soccer gear needs. Big thank you to Next Level Training, Aaron Bird and his guys. They had a bunch of camps this week, a bunch of the pros in here helping them out and training the kids. Awesome to see. I know Nate's kid went. There was some awesome pictures online there. Your daughter had a great time, did she not?
She had a great time, and Aaron actually pinged me online and was like, oh, thanks for coming. And I was like, no, thank you for putting on one heck of a camp that will be full of memories for times to come.
Yes.
Not only maybe she learned something. I think she learned something. Hopefully she learned something. But I could tell you this. She had a blast. Yep. She ran around, got, a shirt signed by everyone, made sure she had everyone sign it, nutmegged a DCFC player.
Whoa!
Got her picture taken with her favorite DCFC player. Got her picture taken with Chloe Ricketts.
Saw that.
Run around and she had a blast. That's she said actually Chloe was one of her favorite pros.
Yeah, the pro trainers.
And I asked why, and she said because I don't know. She was playing with her and she was like talking with her and stuff like that, and that led to Sydney trying to nutmeg her and failing multiple times. So I thank Aaron actually, honestly, for the bottom of my heart, from giving my daughter a hell of an experience, So it was
That's
awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Big. Did you want to add something there, Brooks?
No, I mean, listen, I've known Aaron for years, and he's lets me go in, and if he's got a player, training with him, he wants me to watch. I come in and watch, and we talk about the kids he trains and the colleges they go to and whatnot. And I think it's a great experience for youth players to train or just to be around people in the professional game.
Absolutely.
It's just something, with DCFC we have here, which has been great, but we just have never, honestly, for a long time, in the Midwest particular too, just don't have a lot of that. It's either on the East Coast, the West Coast, or Florida or California you got to go to for all this stuff. And it's just nice that all these players fly in or they're local and, they come in and they get back to the community, which is great. So
yeah, that was it's very good to see. Yeah. Also, a big thank you to the Michigan Jags. We'll be doing the Michigan Jag weekly videos coming again soon, so keep on board there. They did some awesome things as well over the break. Some 4-on-4 tournaments, more coming up. My daughter, competed. My son opted out. I took a small break from soccer for the break through the holidays here, probably for the best. But Michigan Jags providing a great experience for players of all levels. You know what, guys? I think we may have a couple of minutes remaining, and we may have some time for Wheel of Randomness.
One thing we should note is our cool clothing store we have going on right now, right?
Yeah, I got some new merch up there.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some more merch coming for Valentine's Day, so get on that soon.
Oh, man.
But, good call on that. The merch store up on wearesoccer.show. You can find awesome new merchandise that we've created and are selling. So
yeah,
awesome. All right, Brooks, did we got a couple of things to add on? We've added on the board. Why don't you go ahead and give that a spin, my friends, and then we'll answer those questions. Go for it, buddy.
Oh. Top 5 favorite bands / musicians of all time.
I gotta name 5. I can barely name 2.
Okay, how about 3?
All right, let's go 3. Top 5 favorite bands and musicians.
We can do top 3.
Top 3. Sorry,
yes.
Top 3. All right, Nate, you want to go? You want me to go? I'll go. All right. I like a band called Angels and Airwaves.
Oh yeah.
Tom DeLonge out of them.
Yeah.
I'll put Blink 182 next, and oh my gosh, a third one. You know what? I got to go old school. I got to go Oasis.
Nice.
Yeah, I love me a little bit of Oasis. Uh-oh. Coughing it up.
Yeah.
What you got?
I tried to swallow saliva.
Yeah.
311.
Ooh.
Paul Oakenfold.
Oh, my. I didn't see that one coming.
And this is why I point at you, because, the third one, I'm just like...
Yeah, like,
There's, a bunch. Then after that are all just, tied and related. I don't know.
Meat Puppets.
Sure. Who? I don't know.
I don't know that either.
There's a bunch of for a number. Yeah, I guess maybe Eminem.
Oh, there you go. All right. I didn't see the Paul Oakenfold coming from you. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey,
I like
man.
that. Yeah.
Little
bit of techno dance. I like it.
I'm all about the techno dance.
Yeah, all right. All right, Brooks, who's top 3 for you, buddy?
Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fallout Boy.
Okay. All right. I
My
like that.
generation. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And for sure Eminem.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a lot of some M&M local flavor there from Metro Detroit here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's spin that wheel. Let's do one more, and then we'll call it a day. What do we got? Wheel of randomness.
Ah, come on.
We already did that one?
Yeah.
Was it just did?
This one just did. Yeah, we did that again. I can't spin this very well. Oh, queso or guac?
That's easy.
Go for it.
You know, I can make both these.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're a master at making both of them.
You know, I
too.
make a smoke queso as well.
Ooh.
Really?
Ooh. Don't.
Is it a family favorite?
Tempt us.
It's not even a family favorite, but it's a favorite. And my guac is also a family favorite as well. I would always go guac because it's more refreshing and lighter than a cheese dip.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm gonna go guac as well. Actually, my wife makes a mean guac dip. I really
Challenge your wife to a guac off.
I'm gonna be the judge, and there's gonna be no losers. I guarantee it. Brooks, last question for you, there, my friend.
Queso. I love me some queso.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Been a huge guac fan till recently, but queso for sure.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap us up for the weekly recap on We Are Soccer. We appreciate it. Remember, no show next week. I'm out of town. We're going to have some unusual content coming at you, though, so keep an eye there. Do us a huge favor. Give us a like. Give us a subscription. Give us a share on all of the social channels. Do the same for our partners and our sponsors. We would appreciate it. We will be back January 21st. We'll see you then. Danny should be back. Danny, get better, buddy. Get that shoulder right. Hopefully you're on the mend and out of pain. Until 2 weeks from today, cheers, guys.